Oh man, so we got Bitcoin sitting up 5% at 31,400. Fantom up 5% as well, but watch out, because could this just be a fool's rally? Could this be a brief rally without any underlying reason for us to have a sustained move to the upside? We're going to cover that off, cover off the key levels in the Bitcoin and Fantom charts, so make sure you stay tuned till the very end. We're going to find out if this market is really ready for a big move to the upside, or is this just a brief rally and we're going to fall back to create new lower lows? So make sure you hit up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get straight into the charts. And we covered off earlier today that we were getting the breakout on Bitcoin, and today now you can see you're kind of getting a bit of a recovery here from Fantom after an initial breakdown from its wedge pattern. We're going to come back onto Fantom because I've got a particular warning that I can see here in this chart pattern. Also on Bitcoin, you can see here, I'm just monitoring the hourly chart, and what you can see here is we are getting above this yellow line. This yellow line comes back to this period. Now, the last time we broke through 31,000, the purple line, you can see we got held up in between these two yellow lines, sitting at about 31,400 to about 31,800. So it's a 400-point move in here, and that's where you could see we got a fake out, phone back in, and then ultimately we ended all the way back down to these levels again, under 30,000. So that's what we got to look out here. Are we going to get the same? Are we going to get rejected and thrown back down? Now, before we look at it from a technical perspective, we've got to marry it up with some fundamentals. You guys know that's what this channel is about. It's about showing you the chart patterns, but at the same time taking that blend of adding the fundamentals on top, because loads of people, loads of channels, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit, can show you certain chart patterns, and they take trades, they take short trades, they take long trades, margin trades, leverage trades, which you guys know I'm super anti, and they'll do so without actually tying in the fundamentals. So let me correct that and cover off some things today. Because first things first, why are the markets rallying? You guys would have seen, if you watched my video earlier today, it was an earlier one, just to give you guys the updates on why was Bitcoin moving. Because it had a quick start off the mark, and it was nothing to do with US markets, nothing to do with the UK market where I was today. It was to do with Asia, and it started off with Beijing relaxing some of the COVID measures. Remember, we spoke about this being an issue for quite a while. What is the macro challenge right now in the markets? The macro challenge in the markets is a fear of stagflation. It's a fear that inflation is going to continue and economies ends up in a global slowdown. That's the fear right now. And one of the things which was exacerbating that were all the various different port closures and things going on in China. So it was good to get this news piece today to say Beijing was starting to relax their COVID measures and starting to try opening back up. That's a good sign. We then got another piece of news. We got the news that China were to conclude the DD cybersecurity probe. Now, for anybody who doesn't understand, very quickly, no need to get into detail in this, but China has been probing a lot of the high-tech companies in China, which includes DD, which is their Uber equivalent. It's a ride-hailing app, okay? So this is a really good sign, a sign that maybe the government can start taking the pressure off. Now, because of these two pieces of news, we saw the Asian markets really have a positive day today. If I show you over here on the Asian market, plus 1% on the Nikkei, 1.28 on Shanghai Index, and 2.7 on the Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index. Great stuff. Europe then followed. We saw the DAX up. We saw FTSE, where I am in London, up 1.43%, and the CAC up 1.4. Nice. Then we saw the US markets tick green, and the US markets then opened up fully, nicely in the green. 0.73 on the Dow Jones, S&P up 1, and 1.27 for the Nasdaq. So things were looking nice and good there on the markets, and that is what's allowing crypto to rally. But the question remains, will this last? Because we're sitting here on Bitcoin. Do we have enough? And I think you're getting a little bit of an answer now in terms of the technical analysis. We're getting that rejection from the yellow lines we saw here. You can see we tried to break in. If I go into the 5 minutes, you'll see exactly what's happening. See, we managed to break through the first yellow. And then when you tried getting into the second yellow, it was no thank you. You're getting rejected at this region. You're back down again. So now what you need to ask yourself is what's going to happen? And I'm going to come onto it from a fundamental perspective shortly. But from a technical perspective, I just want to show you what could be happening. And again, something we spoke about earlier today is if you're going to play the bullish scenario, do wait for the retest, right? So see if it does something like this, retest, and then start feeling confident about here for the next move to the upside, because it can bounce back with the RSI reset. The RSI can reset, call off a little bit, and if you can get volume on the bounce, boom, there, and then you can feel confident to catch that break. But right now, there just wasn't enough momentum here. You can see the RSI started topping out. You can see volume wasn't the best here on this breakout. I mentioned that in this morning's video. You had decent volume here, but on the candles where it was breaking out, the volume really dissipated. Can you see these couple of candles here just afterwards? These were a few hours where there wasn't any conviction in the rally. Keeping in mind, this was conviction on the way down. Look at the volume candles here on the way down. Now, also what you can see is how quickly price recovers when you get a fall to the downside. Again, something we spoke about over the last 48 hours is when price tumbles like this quickly, you can expect to see it bounce back quicker. We spoke about that. We looked at the VPVI yesterday and you saw that there was an opportunity in that for it to bounce quickly. So congratulations if you took that. And if you guys do want to trade, you can do so using BYBIT. Links in description. And I do want to take a few minutes to talk about BYBIT, guys, because yes, I am affiliated with BYBIT. They've been kind enough to support this channel. And as you guys know, it's important for a small channel like this to get a little bit of support because it takes a long time to make these videos, especially when I'm posting like 10 a day. But I want to make something very, very clear. Right now, BYBIT is offering a bonus of up to $1,000.50, right? $1,050 when you sign up using the link in the description. You can do that at ijaz.uk/BYBIT. But here's the catch, and I want you guys to check this. I have always promised to be completely transparent and open with you guys. Now, I ask you to check how transparent other YouTubers are with you guys at the same time. And the way you can check that is go and look at your favorite YouTubers today. Go look at them today, because I know from BYBIT, I've spoken to them, that BYBIT is no longer offering $4,000 rewards like they were doing. So go check their pages, check what they're saying in their videos, and try and see if you can get those $4,000 bonuses, because you can't. They're expired, right? But they'll continue to shill that to you. So don't get caught out with those scams. Don't get caught out with those tricks. They're doing that to get extra clout, extra sponsorships, extra support from BYBIT, when the reality is they're telling something which they shouldn't be telling, which is there is no $4,000 bonus. That's expired. The bonus you can get is $1,000. And I'll be true to you. Go get that in the description below. Get yourself set up on BYBIT. It's genuinely a platform which I use, because as you can see, it's got TradingView integration. I use TradingView all the time, and it makes my life a lot easier using BYBIT for my trades. Now, for my trades, I do not use leverage. I do not use margin. So very simply, I stay within spot. I come into trade and I play with spot with a small part of my portfolio. If you guys want to join me on those trades, and I'm going to share various different trade opportunities with you guys, smash up the like, subscribe, and get yourself on BYBIT. Okay, so with that said, go and look at those YouTubers and find out who are the ones pulling your wool over your eyes. You'll be able to see it straight away. Go watch their videos and you'll see. I'll look at their description box and you'll see how they're trying to tell you that there's a $4,000 bonus when there clearly isn't. And those are the moon boys we want to counteract. Now, let's get back to some important business, because the important business of the week is Friday. And Friday is going to give us our CPI reading, much anticipated. And if you guys watched my video yesterday, I said that it would not be a surprise if we get a bit of a rally in the early days of the week, and then in the later days of the week, that volatility starts to come back in. We've seen it before with economics, when you have macroeconomic events and numbers coming out like this. This happened all the time when I was trading at an investment bank. We'd always knew Monday and Tuesday would, you could have a bit of a suckers rally, and then later on in the week, it starts to get a little bit nervy again. So 6.2% is what we saw in April. May, we're expecting an inflection down again, okay? So the consensus is about 5.96. The key thing here is what we need to see is it continuing to inflect down. We want to see that number inflect a little bit down. If it goes up, no good for the market. Even if it's a little bit up, it's not great. The market wants to see this come down because we've had a 0.5% rate hike. We want to see it take impact and bring inflation down. So if we do see that, markets could rally. If we don't, and we get a surprise to the upside on inflation, then markets could start to tumble. So definitely keep an eye on that. Do not get caught out with your trades without knowing what's going on in the macroeconomy. It's really, really important. Fear and greed index sitting at 13, so we know the market's fearful, but for us, we know what we're doing. We're staying poised, and the long-term picture of crypto continues to remain fine, right? We know that. We're sitting here on, let's look at Bitcoin here. Let's bring out our weekly, and finally we broke the streak, right? We managed to, after 9 red weekly candles, we posted our final one green yesterday, which is really good, and now we can start working our way up. And if you look at this pattern, it's very similar to the pattern I have drawn out here in the previous bull run. Remember, December 17, you ran all the way up 20k, you then ran down over the next 12 months was the fall, and then another 12 months of pretty much stagnation without creating highs, and then you saw the massive run up. But look what happened in that time. You went from the high, you touched, you went up, you touched, and then you bounced. It's a W pattern, okay? And we're almost getting the same using this 30,000 level here as the new price floor. You're getting the same kind of W pattern, and that's why we're looking to see, can we now bounce and start creating some positive momentum to the upside over the next kind of 4 to 6 months here on crypto. And that's the key. And as long as you're dollar cost averaging in at the bottoms and not chasing peaks, you're going to be doing well. And that's the key. That's all we need to do, right? That's all we need to do, is not be spooked out the market. Go get cash, accumulate crypto, and hold for the long term. And that's how you're going to make life-changing wealth. That's the key to doing this. Now, at the same time, we covered off last week various different on-chain metrics, which suggest we've got a period of volatility, right? It's not the best time in crypto right now. You saw wallet growth start to kind of move sideways. We saw that happen in previous times as well. We're starting to see that a little bit now. We covered off the fact that active entities and addresses are stagnating, although the magnitude of them are far higher, right? And what that's representative of is you do get these bear markets in crypto, but the overall crypto market is much higher. So coming back to this chart, right? Yes, we're getting a bit of stagnation. We had some stagnation here, but what was the price floor here? The price floor here was 3,700. You're getting the same stagnation now, but now the price floor is 30,000. We're creating a new floor, and that's the key. Maybe in the future, we can crack on ahead and create a new floor at 70,000 where we bounce off it for a bit, or 100,000, 120,000. Right? So it's the floor that's important. It's the fact that Bitcoin at this moment in time here, back here in 2017, 2018, 2019 period, was affirming the fact and tested it twice to say we're never going lower than 3,700 on Bitcoin. And that's how I feel is what's going on now. Bitcoin is doing this to say, hang on, we're now never going back to 30,000. So for me, this could be the sign that we will never see a $30,000 Bitcoin again. It's possible, right? As in once we clear this on the long-term macro. And that's the key. But the question is, in order for us to get ready for this journey, are we ready now? Or do we need to touch down to 24 for a little while and then go higher? That is not known just yet. Are we ready to go now? Or does it want to go back to 25, 26, 24 for a bit before going on its next leg of the journey? Does it need to wash out some of those weak hands a little bit more and make them capitulate? That's the question, because the market can't have too many hodlers. And again, this is something we spoke about. You've got the accumulation really picking up a lot right now. You've got a lot of people accumulating, and the people accumulating now are long-term holders. There's different types of accumulators, okay? All these people were accumulating too in these blue circles, but these were FOMO accumulators. These were retail. These were tourists coming in and buying at the tops and accumulating. It's easy to accumulate when Bitcoin's at $60,000. But these ones here are those accumulating in November 2018, in March 2020 when COVID happened, in December 2021 when things got horrible again. Those are your strong hand accumulators. Those are ones that are not going to get shaken out. But these tourists can get shaken out. The lower the price goes, the more they get shaken out. And the best example I can give of that is this chart. Because on this chart, which again I shared with you guys, is the long-term holder SOPR. In other words, all this means is where this wicked down last week, it means that long-term holders, some of them, were realizing losses at minus 27%. They were actually selling at a loss. But more importantly, the last time we saw that significantly, we saw a little bit during COVID, we saw that significantly during the Jan 19 period, and we saw it going back to 2015. So normally after we've seen that, big run to the upside, right? You see that big move to the upside. So that's what we're looking for now, is are we repeating that pattern before a longer term big move to the upside? So all the on-chain metrics are indeed suggesting that there is some volatility ahead, and that is why we've got to remain cautious on a short-term time frame basis. Okay, that's very important that we're realistic with our expectations, not like other channels saying, yep, we're ready to go to 100,000. Not quite. Be ready for 24, be ready for 25k, continue to dollar cost average in and accumulate. Right, as promised, what is going on with Fantom? Because I have a little bit of warning for you guys, and what we've seen here is from a technical perspective, and again, if you guys want to trade this, you can go ahead and trade this on BYBIT. You can also trade this on PRIMEXBT. Check out PRIMEXBT, also a really good platform. And the good thing about PRIMEXBT right now, and this isn't a lie, is they're offering up to $7,000 in bonuses. So you can use my link in the description or go to ijaz.uk/PRIMEXBT, and you can see here, you can choose the Fantom pair, Fantom USD, and you can start trading on this platform. Really useful. You can do all your trend lines. You've got different types of candles. Really simple to place a trade. But more importantly, what you can do is you can also deposit using various different methods. Okay, so when you do deposit, make sure you use my coupon code and you can get up to $7,000 of bonuses, which you can trade with for free. Right, coming back to Fantom, look at this chart pattern, okay? And this chart pattern was this triangle, and you can see we were oscillating in this triangle. We broke down to the downside, and now when you break down to the downside, remember you got to look at the targets, and the targets were 30 cents and 24 cents. And indeed, if Bitcoin was heading to the downside, Fantom would have started heading towards this way. But what you managed to see was some support coming from this level at about 33 cents, and that was really good support. And then we saw this rally as Bitcoin was rallying. But now you need to be careful, because if Bitcoin starts to call off its rally, which I'm expecting, because like I said, I feel like it's a bit of a fool's rally. There's no huge conviction behind it. Then that could just be a retest before then heading lower, okay? So you need to be careful that what we don't see is this. So be careful if you're in any long position on Fantom right now, that you could be seeing this. Now, if you're somebody that just wants to accumulate like I am on Fantom, then this is good, right? Because if you head to 30 cents, another great opportunity for you to dollar cost average in, just like it here. And if we do head even lower to 24, which I think could happen if Bitcoin wants to really start heading down to some of its lows towards 26, 25 range, then you're going to get even better opportunities down here. So just be careful if you're longing Fantom on the short term. This is clearly a bearish pattern. You've broken to the downside. Looks like we're getting the retest. And if the wider crypto market cools down over the next few hours, this could be doing something like this. There you have it, guys. There is an update, a lot to cover off in this video. Bitcoin, Fantom, macroeconomics, CPI, loads to look out for. Stay safe out there, trade safely, invest safely, make sure you dollar cost average in. Do not panic sell. That's the key right now. We're in this horrible bit of capitulation right now, but I don't want you guys to falter. I don't want you guys to panic sell when you've worked so hard. If you're in crypto right now, you're doing the best work, because you're in it when there's no excitement. You're in it when there's no, meme coins getting excited right now. There's no 60,000 Bitcoin. There's nobody flying a flag to say, oh, look, Bitcoin's going to go to 200,000 by December. Nobody's doing right that. And now is the beautiful time to be in the market, because you're learning, you're being pragmatic, you really understand what is realistic, what is possible. And this is going to hold you in such good stead, guys. I can't emphasize it enough in the next bull market, because you're going to see when the FOMO comes in, when tourists come back in, you're going to be a completely different level to those people, because you understand the concepts of dollar cost averaging in, not panic selling, controlling your emotions, understanding the long-term view. Maybe then you know how to trade a little bit on the side to make an extra bit of income, and you're going to be set well for the next bull run. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash up the like button and subscribe. I'm going to link up a couple of interesting videos for you guys to watch at the end here, so make sure you go watch those, and I'll see you in the next one.